Hi, this is Annie from the ADHD Minimalist, and today I wanted to give you a review of this bag. And from what I read, it's called Pacsafe Stylesafe, and then it's either a sling bag or a backpack. And honestly, I haven't used it very much as a crossbody bag because I kind of feel like to make this the most effective crossbody bag, there should have been maybe a pocket that you could attach to one of these somehow that would maybe hold your phone and maybe one bank card or something like that. And so because it didn't have that, I just felt like it sat better on my back. If you don't want to get a backache, it distributes the weight better if you wear it as a backpack. So I've mainly used it as a backpack, but I just got back from a trip to Rome and I used this the entire trip. I've actually been using it as a purse a little bit before that and continuing to use it as a purse since I got home. So let's see, our total, maybe I've used this for 3 weeks, and I used it on this entire trip that we took. So it is supposed to be slash proof, and you're not supposed to be able to cut through the straps, and all of the pockets lock. So if I'm going to compare this to, I've had some other bags. One I think is called City Safe, and that one has problems with, so I had to send it back. And the other one is the bag from Pacsafe that turns into a purse that I've had for almost 2 years, and then I recently sent that one back in because some things on it weren't working either. But if I'm going to compare this bag to those other two bags, I honestly like the way this bag locks better. And I enjoy these front pockets, that there's two small pockets. It kind of helps you stay organized better. And this zipper was better than the one on the bag that turns into a purse. So this zipper, it zips really easily, even though the zipper is curved this way and the bag is curved this way. It's not a problem. So it's not really that hard to get it through this tab, if you can see that. That's how you lock it. You put this through there. And if you didn't like this long thing hanging on here, because it is kind of a little bit bulky to get through there if you fold it over like that, and it can be a little bit harder to get through if you use the tip of it like this to get it through. So if you don't like that, you can always just cut that off. It's not really necessary because it is a little bit easier maybe just to get this through there if you just have the metal part of the zipper to put it through. But so far I've just been working around it. I haven't cut it off yet but I don't know, it might make it easier to like open and shut the bag in day-to-day use, and I don't lock it every day at home. So maybe this is like a good function just for when I'm at home. Just when I was on the trip and I was locking this every single time, it was a little bit in the way sometimes, but then if I just cut that off, this would be perfectly fine. And the other pocket here is the exact same way on this side, but this pocket, this is actually my favorite way to lock this. I wish they would do all the pockets like this. It has this little clip here, and you can kind of like turn it any way that you want, but I prefer it being down with the opening part down. And then all I do is I just grab this and I just put it in there. It's that fast. It is so much faster than trying to put this through this little piece of material here. So Pacsafe, if you could just make all your locks like this, that would just be so much faster. And then the other thing that this bag has is it has a pocket on your back. See, and so I've been having my billfold in here in the back, and I don't necessarily need it there when I'm at home, so I might move it over to one of these front pockets. But on the trip, I just kind of like, you would notice right away if somebody started trying to open the back of your backpack that was by your back, and so I had it in there along with my phone part of the time. Sometimes the passports were all back there. So generally I really like all the pockets on this, and all the zippers seem to be working, which was a problem with both of the other bags. One of the main problems was the zippers, actually. So this has got a lot of plus points so far. And I don't know, I probably wouldn't go around holding it from this strap that much because I don't think this is slash proof, but this is supposed to be slash proof. So, I mean, if you're on a trip where people might actually try to steal your bag, you might not want to go around just holding it like this, but at that point, just put it on your back or something and it's not a problem. Okay, the other thing that I kind of commented on when I unboxed this bag in the video is that there's all this space at the top. Do you guys see that? Like all of this space, it's kind of hard to use. So yeah, what do I think about that after using the bag for a while? My first thought was when I started wearing the bag on my back as a backpack was that it's a little bit disappointing that this makes the bag sit, like the weight sits a lot lower on your back, and then you have this whole piece. Do you see that? This is sewn to keep the zipper in there, and then it connects to the bag, but it's really big. I mean, it's what, maybe 2 to 3 centimeters. It's kind of unnecessary spacer there, so that makes it even lower. So the bag kind of felt like it sat a little bit low on my back, and then because of the zipper, I can't adjust these straps very much. So I would maybe wish to be able to make this a little bit shorter to get the bag to come up a little bit, but then again, you can't make it come up that much because of all of this. But in the end, I honestly felt like it felt okay anyway, even though I might have preferred to have it like the straps a couple centimeters shorter. I'm kind of short. I'm like maybe 165 centimeters, which is around 5'5", something like that. But so at least here in Europe, I can get into some of the biggest kid sizes of clothes. So I'm not super tall. And so if you're taller than that, then this probably won't be a problem, that it kind of feels like the bag is a little bit long for my back. But in the grand scheme of things, after using it for 3 weeks, I didn't feel like that was a huge problem. It's not like a deal breaker where I'm going to send the bag back. I still felt like it sat well enough that I could kind of forget that it was there, or it didn't. Another thing I was worried about is that this zipper, because it's on the inside, you know, if it was going to rub here or something when I was wearing a tank top, because it was hot in Rome already in April. And it didn't, honestly, it didn't give me any like rubbing sores or anything, or bother me at all, honestly. So that was another plus. The thing about this is that honestly, I would probably say by the time you kind of bend this over, you probably lost at least half a liter. So this is, I don't know, maybe more than half a liter, but if this is a 6-liter bag, I would say that it is now, if you take away the space, it's really not very usable. It's maybe only 5.5 liters, or even less than that. Like maybe it's 5.25 or something liters. But I did find that, I mean, on a trip, when I have a lot of stuff in there, I can kind of show you. So, you know, I have like sunglasses and snacks and stuff in here still from our trip. But you could kind of put stuff up here to about where you open and shut the bag. And then this other space, it's hard to fill it all the time. So the only thing I really could get in there was a scarf that I used. Not a winter scarf, but a really thin, kind of bigger piece of material that if you go and want to see art in churches and things, then you need to cover your shoulders if you're wearing a tank top. And it was pretty hot, so we weren't putting on tons of extra clothes. I would just get out this shawl or scarf or whatever you want to call it when we wanted to go inside. And so I kind of just shoved that up here, and it stayed there because I had the bag pretty full. And you probably on a day-to-day basis don't need it to be that full. I mean, I had our passports in here because the police in Italy apparently could stop you. I don't know if it's just in Rome or all of Italy, but they can stop you and ask for your ID. And so you have to have some kind of ID on you all the time. And I didn't really want to leave them in the hotel either, so I ended up just carrying them around. And then I had snacks and stuff. So it was pretty full, and then I could just kind of shove the scarf up here. So I did get a little bit of use out of that space, but in general, it's kind of just a waste of space, which is kind of too bad. But other than that, I feel like the bag looks pretty classy, which is nice because people dress up quite a lot in Rome, and I'm in Europe in general, but I mean, you have Paris, Milan, New York as sort of like fashion capitals, and so people aren't just running around in sweatpants and sports clothes there. They look nice on a day-to-day basis. Most of the men were wearing suit coats. Blue on blue on blue was sort of the colors that we noticed. Like blue, sort of navy pants, and a navy suit coat, and sometimes a lighter blue top or white top, and then A lot of people even had some kind of blue shoes. So it actually looked really nice and really classy. It was just sort of kind of a joke. Finally, like my husband and I were like, oh, it's blue on blue on blue again. But they did look really classy. And so I sort of tried to like step up my wardrobe a little bit. We live in sort of more like a sporty area where people go hiking and stuff. So we're kind of like, this area is sort of known for just more casual clothes where you sort of wear these hiking pants in everyday life, even though you're not going hiking that day. And so I sort of decided to step up my fashionable wardrobe. I didn't buy too many things, like one thing I think before we went, but then I kind of felt like this looked like something that people in Rome might use themselves, instead of like walking around with a backpack that made you feel like, oh, I am definitely a tourist. So this got kind of style points, I thought. So I actually like this bag. I'm going to continue to use it as a purse every day. And if I notice something that breaks, or if I notice something that I like or dislike, then I will make another video and let you know. So thanks for joining me today. And oh, you know what? I don't know if I showed you or not, but I did finally get a copy of my book, which looks like this, and I'm really excited. So if I didn't already show you, I'm showing you now, but this is what the proof copy looks like, and I'm excited that this is coming out soon. It's about optimizing your home for kids that have ADHD. So my kids have ADHD, so I've spent a lot of years trying to figure out the best way to deal with some ADHD behaviors and ADHD, just trying to organize the home so that things don't get completely out of hand and messy. So anyway, I'm excited that this is going to be published pretty soon. I don't have an exact date, but I will let you know. Thanks. Bye.